Good morning, fellow debt slayers. It's Monday morning at about 10:15. It's Stephen with Debt Free Results, and I want to welcome you to our page, Debt Free Results, and talk to people about how to become debt free. I am a Dave Ramsey certified debt coach. I have been since 2018 when my wife and I were $90,000 in debt. We went through the Dave Ramsey course and became debt free in about 14 months because we wanted to become debt free. So we threw everything at our debt and became debt free. And at that point, my journey was to help people like you become debt free. So over the past couple of months, I've been talking to people about the Dave Ramsey baby steps. I've been talking to people about each step in reference to saving for an emergency fund, attacking debt, and so on and so forth. Today we're going to talk about the envelope system. And the reason that we're going to do this is over the past months, I've talked to everybody about how this process is an 80% mental process and a 20% physical process. And so getting your mind in your mindset around money in bills and expenses, again, when you get your mindset around how to manage money and how to manage your expenses, it's much easier. So let's jump into this and we'll go from there. So you have your budget, you have your spreadsheet, you have filled out your income, you've filled out your home expenses, your traveling expenses, your utilities, your car payments, and so on. Everything is on your budget, and you're following this every week. This is not a month, it's a monthly budget, but it's a weekly exercise. And you have to remember that just because you do your budget at the beginning of the month, if you don't follow it and track your progress, then you're just going to leave it on the desk or leave it on the computer, and you're going to forget about it. So we look at this every week. I have some clients who look at it every day. It depends on how intense and how determined you are in your journey to become debt free. So when you have your spreadsheet, and you can get one off of Dave Ramsey's website, you can get one anywhere. You can have a regular spreadsheet on your Excel. You just write down all your categories, both income and expenses, and then you manage that so that every one of your dollars is going towards a bill. So it doesn't mean that if you have $25 or $30 or $50 at the end of you doing your expenses that you can go out to dinner. You take that extra money, let's say $25, and you put it towards another bill to pay it down faster. This is the only way that you're going to become debt free. And then when you're debt free, you still use this, but you look at it on a monthly basis because you know what you're doing. At the beginning of this process, you're going to fail. I hate to say it, but you're going to fail. This is going to fall off to the wayside. Something's going to happen. Someone's going to go out to dinner and it's not in the budget. You didn't save for it. Then your budget's all screwed up. It is going to happen. I can guarantee it. But then you get back on the horse. You get back and you redo your budget and you stick with this. You know, they say that doing a budget takes 3 to 6 months to get it right. So again, it's a mental process that you have to physically do the numbers, but then mentally follow the budget. And it's not easy. You know, the neighbors are going to want to go out to dinner, and you're going to have to say, no, I can't. It's not in my budget. or the kids are going to want to say, I want to go to the movies. So do I, but it's not in the budget. If you allocate money to those activities and you have that money set aside in your envelopes, then you can do that. But if you don't have it in your budget, it doesn't happen. And this is where people, they have, I'm just using this as an example. They have $1,000 coming in and they spend $1,200 going out. And at the end of the month, they sit there and say, where did all my money go? Well, it went somewhere that you didn't know because you didn't track it. So it's a tough process, no question, but it is very rewarding to know that when you get your budget down and when you get your process down and when you're debt free, you have no bills. So that $1,000 that you were putting towards payments can now go into your savings account or into your investments and grow quickly. So if you like what we're talking about, give us a thumbs up here on this channel and subscribe to us below. If you have friends, family members that don't know how to work with a budget, send them my way. I'll be more than happy to help them and educate them on how to use a budget and how to manage their money. And it's something that we as a society have to get into. We were never taught how to budget, and we were never taught how to manage money. So it's a catch-up to say that for the past umpteen years that your spending habits have been out of control. And yes, you have a really nice car, and yes, you wear really nice clothes, and yes, you have the really nice whatever, but there's a cost to all that. And at some point, we just have to say no, rein it in, slow down on the buying and the spending and the out of control the out of control spending habits and get it under control. So okay. So we've done baby step one. We have $1,000 in a high yield savings account so that when that emergency happens, you'll have $1,000 to pay for it in cash. Next is at the same time, you're working on your budget. You have your income, you have your outgo, and everything is written down. From here, what you do is you switch over to envelopes. All right, and on these envelopes, you have utilities. You have your monthly. So let's just say that in this example, I made these up as examples. Let's just say your utilities, your monthly spend is $160. So you write down monthly and you write down $160. And you know that it's going to be paid, let's just say on the 30th of the month. Well, every week you put $40 cash, because $160 divided by 4 weeks, you put $40 cash into this envelope so that you have your money in there for your utilities. Same with rent. If your rent is $1,000 a month, you put in weekly, $250, and that way your rent is covered. When you pay these utilities, you can write a check or go down to your utility headquarters and pay cash. Rent is the same thing. You can write out a check or you can give it to your landlord or the bank in cash. Your gas for your car. A lot of times we go out and we fill up the tank and we don't even think about it. And we just go and spend and drive, and then we fill up again and we drive, and then we get out our credit card and we add up that gas and we drive. So here in your budget, again, your budget is what you have made. So if these numbers are correct in reference to your expenses, then these numbers are correct for your expenses. And like I said, you're talking about a mental mind shift. So if you have $100 in this envelope, or weekly if you put $25 in, when you're using your envelope system and you take out $25, that's it for the week, because you've allocated $100 for the month. And again, that's the budget that you have here. So it makes you slow down in this case of driving too much and wasting money on gas. So if you're using cash, mentally you're seeing the money come out of your envelope. So if you have $100 in there for the beginning of the month and you're into the third week and you only have $20 because you took out an additional $5 the week before, then you can only use $20 of gas for that next week. And when it's empty, this empty envelope should match your budget on your paper. Phone bill, again, I put this down as $150. If you have to put money into it on a weekly basis, so be it. But as long as it matches $150 and $150 is on your budget, then you can take that to your Verizon, your AT&T, whatever store, they will accept cash. Food, this one's a tough one. And it's one of those that you have to limit what you're spending. So in this case, if you've budgeted, let's say $400 a month, then every week you're putting $100 into your envelope, or you're only using $100 for food. So we have to budget. This is where a lot of people overspend because they're used to buying, a case of soda, and they're used to buying 4 pizzas, and they're used to buying whatever. Now you might have to use coupons, which is a great idea. Why not save money on coupons? If you're buying soda, look for a coupon. If you can save $1 on a case of soda, that's $1 saved. That goes towards your budget. So at the end of the month, what you should be able to do is look at your envelopes, and they should all be empty based on your budget. Now, I have clients that they start off and they say, you know what, I want to do everything on the envelope system. And I always say, you know what, let's do some baby steps. Let's get used to using the envelopes. It's a big mental shift. It doesn't mean that you're going to vary from your budget. It just means that this part of your process, do it in baby steps. So I always tell people, start off with gas and start off with maybe food or your phone bill, and use those for a month and get used to using those and get this down, this process down, and then add another envelope and then add another envelope until all of your expenses are in envelopes. And then your budget on your spreadsheet should match up with the money that's in your envelopes, so that you're actually seeing the utilities of $160. You have that cash in your hand and you're paying it with cash. Again, mentally, money leaving your hands. So it's a process that you will use, and it is something that is beneficial. It's, again, a mental mindset, a reminder that this money goes towards these bills, and these bills should be the same as your budget. If you're fudging your numbers on your budget, then you're only, you're only hurting you. So do it in baby steps. You have to do it anyways. But the envelope system, it's something that gradually you can get used to, and I don't want you to fail. So, doing the, gas, putting $100 in this at the beginning of the month and saying, I'm going to, for the next month, use just $100. Let's say that you bring this with you to the gas station and you have that $25 and you give the $25. at the end of the month, let's say that you have $5 or $10 left over. Great, that's fantastic. Then you can put that towards another bill, or you keep it in here and then the next month you put in $90. So then you can take that $10 the next month and put it towards another bill. Because every dollar should be allocated towards paying bills. It's not easy, but it can be done. So I had someone send me an email last week, which I wanted to read to you. It says, Stephen, way to go. I really enjoy your videos. I am debt-free, and it did take me a long time for kids' college educations, their master's degrees, and healthcare. Thank you for your honesty, and then, blah, blah, blah. So that's another debt slayer saying that, yes, it took a long time, and they were able to pay down their college tuitions, their master's degrees, and their health care. I don't know to what detail. I sent her a reply asking for a little bit more information so that I can convey it to you. But that's another example of somebody becoming debt-free. She is a debt slayer. She is debt-free. So any money that they make, they put it into their savings accounts, and that, a high-yield savings account or into investments, and that way they can live and give like nobody else. So during the hard times of paying bills and getting your debt down, that's the hard time. That's the valley. But then when you hear from people like her that say, I am debt-free. I paid for my kids' educations, I paid for their master's degrees, and I paid off all my health care. I mean, those must have been her three biggest expenses. So it can be done. So I want you to really focus on this. Do it in steps. And if you need help, reach out to me. Reach out to me like her. I will be more than happy to help you in any way that I can to help you become debt-free. I know it can be done. I've seen it be done, and I know that you can do it as well. So it's not an easy road, but I know it can be done. So take your baby steps. Do it in baby steps. If you have questions, email me at steven@debtfreeresults.com. Visit us on this site and like us, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe to our channel. If you have kids, if you have relatives, if you have friends who are having issues or tough on budgets and such, and managing bills, I should say, have them reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to help them out any way that I can. God bless you. Have a great week. Start your baby steps. Stay on your baby steps. Stay on your debt-free journey. Right? Everyone's journey is different. So she may be on baby step 7. There might be someone who's on baby step 3. There might be someone who's on baby step 2. There might be someone on baby step 1. We don't know. But everyone's debt-free journey is different. But the end results are the same. 100% debt-free, money in the bank, no stress, no anxiety, no sleepless nights. God bless everyone. Have a great day. Again, this is Stephen with Debt Free Results. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.